how the vasana, sankalpa, and the vikalpa causes the impurities of the mind. And then we have reached to a state where we understood the delusion part in general, which includes all the impurities of the mind causing reaction, attachment, duality, conflict. And the one word that is used by our masters is attachment. And
Yes.
or attachment is nothing but the conditional love. Oh, I have done so much for you, and you are not even appreciating me. This is conditional love. So it means you are doing so much because of your expectation. So even I'm serving, and still I'm suffering. What a great tragedy in our life. And that is what the conditional love is. I'm doing for the sake of doing, I'm doing for the sake of love. That gives us a sense of unconditional love. So we can say that delusion is conditional love, or we can say the conditional love is delusion, and that we do not understand, and which gives rise to many impure states of the mind, causing the suffering that includes guilt, that includes anxiety, that includes depression, that includes emotional dependence, that includes anger and agitation. So now the question comes that what should we do daily? What should be our routine? Now come to the routine, understand a few things. Life, life, we cannot afford to skip going to the restroom. I cannot afford to skip eating. I cannot afford to skip sleeping. I cannot even afford to skip waking. Why? Because I cannot sleep for 24 hours. So it is, I cannot skip even the breathing. Question is, so these are the daily essential activities governed by the nature, governed, programmed by the nature, and then uh, and if we interfere in the nature, then we are then we are falling into delusion. We are falling into delusion. That is one aspect we have to understand. But again, that in delusion and conditional love, our mind, this crazy mind, misses the essence of life. In delusion and conditional love, we miss the essence of life. That is first aspect. Second aspect is that the mind is heavily conditioned. So it is heavily conditioned, so there is a conditional love. There is a delusion. How simple it is, easy to understand. So now the question comes that it means how to remove that delusion. How to remove that delusion? It means how to remove the delusion and start living with unconditional love. What? What should we do? Because there is a conditioning, so I need to break this conditioning. I need to break this conditioning. Any conditioning has to be broken by a any conditioning has to be broken by a self-discipline. What is self-discipline? So we are putting everything logically, the way the masters put. So what is self-discipline? What is self-discipline? So at physical level, at mental or emotional level, at intellectual level, first I should, what I should do? First I should remove the delusion. Remove the delusion. I know and I do not know. Something I do not know and something I know. How? By simple steps should be done regularly without fail. Clear? So, simple steps that we are going to talk about these simple steps. Why? It is the normal understanding. I have a knee pain. How I go and find out the cause? I have not done any exercise. I have not stretched the knees. Simple step, then I have to start stretching the knees, and ultimately the knee pain goes away. So it means conditioning has to be broken by a self discipline at the physical, at the mental, and how long I have to do it. It depends on the temperament of an individual. It depends on the strength and ability. It depends on the commitment. No, no, but anyhow, you are the highest level of a seeker. It takes only 1 week. Every day in 1 week, you will start enjoying a new state of the consciousness, a new peace and calmness takes over. And that 1 week of self discipline, you introduce these steps in your life, you find the time and the life transforms. You are a medium level of a seeker, then it will take few weeks and the months. You are lower level of a seeker, it will may take a few months and years. You only intellectually understand, but you have yet to become a seeker. Only the God can help those people. One guy, I was telling you, this young guy. No, so do you think that I have not become a seeker? So he told me that when he woke up in the morning, he was struggling whether to take my dog for a walk, or whether I should take a cup of coffee, or whether I should sleep and for another 2 hours I should wake up at 8. I said, you never thought you have been practicing with me for the last 1 year, and mine did not even think of doing the practice in the morning. And you are claiming that you are a seeker. And then you are blaming me that I have been doing the practice with you for so many years and there is no change. Who is responsible? He realized it. Now he wants to be serious. So come. Now, what is going to happen? Highest level of a seeker follows these steps for about a week, like 1 week is equivalent to 1 year of a kindergarten class where you have learned the alphabets and you follow it, you don't forget it, so that even in graduation, you can use those alphabets to create sentences, phrases, you can write, and you can understand anything. Why I'm saying so? Then you don't need exactly the practice. You wake up in the morning, you sit down and you say, everything is good, mind. Are you in a delusion? No, I'm not in a delusion. I'm relaxed? Yes. I'm calm? Yes. I'm in peace? Yes. I will continue the entire day into that state? Yes. You are already living from moment to moment. How to reach to that state? We need what we call a self inquiry. So, what are the steps of this self inquiry that every seeker must do without fail? And I'm making it very simple. What Buddha did was extraordinary. Buddha saw the sick man. You see his level of his awareness. He absorbed that image of the old man in himself through the contemplation and reflection, and he told himself, I will also become old. My father has put me into a Las Vegas in a sin city he has created. Do you know that when he was born, an astrologer was called, and astrologer said either he will become a great monk or he will become a great king. So his father wanted to avoid that he should not become a monk. So he created a Las Vegas in a sin city, means that he put all kinds of pleasures, and he warned the entire his military and the army that no old man, no dead man, no nothing of that pain and the pleasure should touch my son. Give him all kinds of pleasures, all kinds of drinks, all kinds of women. Let him enjoy the pleasure. And one day, Buddha's earlier name was Siddhartha, was Siddhartha had a desire to visit the kingdom. He was visiting the kingdom in a horse cart. The driver was there, and first he saw the old man, and Buddha first time in 16 years of his age, because he was totally immersed in pleasure. First time he saw the old guy. What is happening? He had a deformed spine. He was holding the stick, and he was making coughing. And he said, "Who is this guy?" The car driver said, "My my master king, your father told me not to tell you, but now you have seen, I have to tell you. You, me, and everyone will have to pass through this old age." He did not say anything. He absorbed, and he imitated that as if he is not able to walk, he's walking with the stick. That is what the contemplation and reflection is. "Oh, I will also become." Then is there any way to get out of it? Second event, he saw uh, where he saw a sick man. Well, Siddhartha asked, "Who is it?" "Oh, everyone has to become sick. Health and the sickness are the dynamic states." Because he was not told what exactly is the sickness for 16 years. And he absorbed again. Oh, this body has to become sick. Then wait, what is the way? And then he saw a dead man. Master first car driver said, "Oh, well, everyone has to die." And the fourth event, he saw a monk on the street. He was meditating. He had no house. He was just meditating on a street and eating food by begging. Four. So he was the highest level of a seeker. He returned home and he started contemplating and reflecting. At that time, he had already been married with his son, and after 6 months in the midnight, he said goodbye to his son and the wife and his father. He said, "Now I have to become a monk," because he got some idea. Oh, he is searching for the purpose of life. So now coming back to the topic, because he was so much determination, resolve was such a deep. he realized that if I ask my dad to that I will meditate, he won't allow. He will put me into another kind of pleasure. So he thought it is the best option is to leave the kingdom and then practice the austerity. So what I was telling you that uh, he can you imagine 16 years his body, his mind was full of all kinds of pleasures, and he encountered one master who was very tough master. After an introduction, the master asked that, are you ready? Buddha Siddhartha said yes. So first step, you have to sleep on the floor from today. Do you agree? Yes, because master was examining you. So from tomorrow, you have to take only one meal a day. Do you agree? Yes, sir. You have to practice for 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. And then you have to take care of this monastery. Do you agree? Yes, sir. He said yes to all. And he did it for 6 years before he reached to that state of awakening. Now the question comes, do we need to do that? No. There's a lot of intellectual development, and if we understand that, so instead of going into that kind of a tough discipline, we have to follow a very simple discipline. Simple discipline. First discipline is the Mangala Charan for 5 minutes. Another one is listening and learning. Third is contemplation and reflection. Fourth is the practice and experience the change. Fifth one is the applying that wisdom by thought, speech, and action. And then in the evening, we should do the daily analysis. These are the few steps we have to follow. Let us pick up each step. The first, we say the Mangala Charan. Mangala Charan is known as the auspiciousness. Auspiciousness means that I should enter into auspiciousness every day when I wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning and you had a thought enters into your mind from the last year of the guilt. Oh, you thought, and it goes back into a couple of years back, and then you keep sitting and what should I do? I'm really frustrated. I'm sorry. No. When I wake up in the morning, you pick up any mantra. What is any Shanti mantra? You already know it. Pick up any mantra like Asatu, Ma, Satagamaya. You no, I cannot chant in Sanskrit. Don't do it. I'm not teaching you any cut. Oh, so your eyes are closed and you say that every day I will move from the false to the real. I will move from the ignorance to the wisdom. I'll move from the mortality to the immortality. What it means that when I drop the identification with the body and the mind, then I have no fear of the death, and I will enter into the all pervading real self and the consciousness. Then, one more aspect that we will be doing in our next session, I'll tell you what should be our routine, but we are understanding. Even this week, you can start doing it. Pick up anything, pick up any principle if you remember. Yes, I remember you told us that permanent happiness is our essential nature. Pick up that, but just for 5 minutes. Oh, permanent peace and happiness are my essential nature. Then why I'm suffering from anxiety? It is because that I've moved into the false, and the false has created a delusion. The ignorance has created a delusion. Oh, that is the nature. So I can enter into the spaciousness just by any of these mantras? Answer is yes. Why we should do? This world is a manifestation of the same reality, my friend. My mind has created a delusion and a conditional love. That is why it has invited these crazy thoughts which puts me down. So by regular daily practice of entering into the auspiciousness will start dissolving the love, unconditional love and the delusion. That is the first step. Included into that step, I would say the japa. Japa means the repetition. The repetition, whether you say Om Shanti, 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 let there be. You have to say it intellectually to yourself. I told you that a heavy conditioning of the mind in relationship to the world instantly causes the delusion and the suffering during the day manifest. So why we do the three times Shanti? One piece for the known word, other piece for the unknown word, and third piece is my essential nature. I'm simply saying you just do it intellectually, just within 5 minutes. Second step is the listening and learning. Listening and learning. So I don't listen like a TV news. I should listen with attention, awareness, and attention. Okay, you have told us this is the point you have told me. Listening and learning. You pick up any audio file, listen only for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then close the audio file. So that to move into the second step is the contemplation and reflection. What is contemplation? Contemplation means the deep thinking on one subject. You have picked up the peace as my essential nature. Okay, am I in peace now? So you have to ask maybe 100 questions related to that subject. What is peace? How come peace? Where is the peace? So you will start receiving an answer from what you have learned from the previous sessions. Oh, you told me that peace is within me, happiness is within me. Happiness is not in the pasta that I eat, which gives me a pleasure. Oh, pasta does not have a property of pleasure or happiness, but still I feel the pleasure. Yes, I feel the pleasure, but happiness is not the property. It comes from within me. I experience inside me. I don't experience in the past. So this is what the contemplation is. So I deep thinking, or you simply say it is refers to contemplation that you have to focus and ask mentally you are asking what is exactly happening. Those thoughts which causes the delusion are being eroded. Contemplation part. And what is the reflection part? Reflection part is so simple. Reflection part is that you will recognize your deluded thought, what happened yesterday, you were into anxiety and the reaction. Now that is what reflection. Your mind reflect. Oh, yesterday I was deluded. That's why I got into anxiety. Wow, I got the feeling and it is gone. Not only that impression of the past event has gone, but your mind has become free. So you see, the first is the Mangala Charan, of creating and entering into the spaciousness, and Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is the two facets of the, and it will take 5 minutes, another 15 minutes to listen to any audio, because I only talk of the principles of Eastern wisdom. And then contemplation, deep thinking, reflection. Once your mind starts reflecting, oh my goodness, yesterday I did this, I should have done like this. You are removing the delusion. And instantly you will realize there is a calmness in you. process of relating the contemplated teachings to one's personal life is what the reflection is. So your experience changes instantly, instantly, because you have put the wisdom there. Oh, unnecessarily I put myself into the upset and anxiety. There is nothing there. Why? Because you have found out the delusion. There is nothing. It is in terms of the thought, feeling, and emotions. Because of the principle of contemplation and reflection, your state of the mind has changed. But to make it steady, that experience has to be steady, you have to do the practice. So then you can pick up the practice, any practice. The last practice is good. So you did the practice, and after the practice, what happens after the practice? You have already shared your experiences that I experience calm and peace. Okay. PE, I say PE, practice and experience. Okay. Practice and experience. I experience the change. So now I'm resolving. I will continue to live into that state of the calmness throughout the day. And I will also check how this inner calmness is disturbed. It is disturbed by the past impression in the form of a thought causing the delusion. So now you live your life with that awareness. That is what I say, the PE, practice and experience. And then what happens? I say AW, apply the wisdom. So now, okay, I will continue to live into the state of the calmness. Mind, you have brought the crazy thought. I'm not accepting you. You are talking to yourself, AW. And then what happens? Daily analysis, you have done the morning practice. I'm simply saying you're the highest level of a seeker, 1 week is required. You are little less, few weeks and a month are required. You are lower level of a seeker, months and years are required. You only understand intellectually, you don't apply it. God knows when we will change. So last one, before going to the sleep, you do the Mangalacharan with the mantra and you analyze your life throughout the day. How many times I was in anxiety, I had a feeling of reaction and a blame and complaint, which is inside you. You recognize, you contemplate and reflect, you remove it, and then you fall into deep sleep. I need only your 1 week that you don't forget. Every day in the morning, you start this. Before going to sleep, you follow, you follow this routine of self-discipline. Self-discipline. So you see that the first is MM. MM means M means Mangalacharan. Another M means the mantra. Another M means the mantra. That is the first step. Because I don't want my mind should fall back into the deluded thoughts of yesterday, of the last week, of the last month, or the last year. I should not. Because the moment it enters into your mind and then it takes over, then the nature programs your entire day. Nature programs the entire day means what? Animals are programmed by the nature. What does it mean? When animals are programmed by the nature, it means impulsive nature, habitual. I don't examine my life. Animals do not examine their life. I was watching Discovery Channel yesterday about the life of a lion. So one lion was in a herd in a group of 10 lions. A couple of them are lioness and other. So from another group, one young lion came and he defeated this old lion. Now, the commentator says that this old lion has to live life alone. He has become weak, he cannot catch the prey, so he will just stand, he will just live at far but near the group. They will catch the prey, and if the prey is left, he will eat that prey, and one day he will die. That is the animal life. Reversing by Mangala Charan and the mantra because I start thinking consciously. First step is the MM. Second step is the LL, listening and learning. Third step is the CR, contemplation and reflection. Fourth step is PE, practice and experience. Whatever I experience, the change, I will take that experience in my daily living. That is AW, applying the wisdom by thought, speech, and action. And the last step is daily analysis. Before I go to the sleep, I ask myself how many times I was in anxiety, duality, conflict, reaction, pain, pleasure, etc. So I have also to see, oh, I was overwhelmed by the pleasure of eating this, and oh, the ret- pleasure will return to the pain also. So I have to become aware. And I say to myself, the pleasure is not the property of anything. I have just contemplated and reflected. I didn't allow my mind to go back to the thought. What the impulsive thought is? Say, for example, I have eaten pasta and it gives me a tremendous pleasure. So there are two options. I overate, stomach problem, pleasure results into pain. Now, I am very conscious, so I have eaten. I had a balanced eating, but my mind in delusion keeps on thinking, okay, I will also cook the pasta tomorrow. Why? Because I got the pleasure in eating the pasta, because I thought the pleasure is present in the pasta. You cooked it tomorrow also. Now it now the mind will repeat itself and it will cause the impulsive nature of the mind. Impulsive nature of the mind will take you to the delusion. Delusion is conditional love, and conditional love is the delusion. And then I have to start living either with anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, etc., etc. Look at it. This is the way. We have already discussed in detail the impure states of the mind, the impurities of the mind. We have talked about attachment and detachment. Before that, we have likes and likes and dislikes because of non-thinking. And because of the non-thinking, we have imagined pleasure and pain. And from where it comes from the vasana, from the past impression. So I have already discussed in detail about this chain. I have to break this chain. If I don't break this chain, it will haunt me. It will chase me uh, until I die. And if these chain haunts me until I die, so I'm living in the same life: pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat, anxiety. Today I have anxiety. Yesterday was the better day. Today is a bad morning. What harm the sun has done to you? Why? How come it is a bad morning? Sun rises in the same way. Did you not? Are you understanding? Sunrise is in the same way. How come it is a bad morning? It's a craziness of my mind. Today is the worst day. Okay, today is the. You made the day worse because of delusion and conditional love. Otherwise, day is as it is. Monday is the same. Tuesday is the same. Days are the same. Time is the same. Time is not affected by any event or any experience of my anxiety, my pressure, my delusion. Are you getting it? Time remains the same. Days remains the same. Time, space, days, months, sun, moon remain same. What causes it? Delusion and conditional love in my mind because of the ignorance keeps repeating itself, keeps repeating, and then that is what we keeps repeating. Result? Result is that we live a impulsive life, nature programmed, nature programmed animals to live like that. So we are suffering. So I, instead of going into, I gave you some idea about how the Buddha did 6 years. Now our masters reveal that knowledge. And after 6 years, Buddha, one day, he did all his practices. He was sitting under a tree. He was totally relaxed and calm. So, the beauty of these practices in Eastern wisdom is such that it will take you to these steps. After 6 years of the practice, he was sitting under a tree, very calm and relaxed. His mind revealed the knowledge. I'm looking for calmness and peace. Now I am calm and peace. Why should I torture my body to sleep on the floor where I got insect bites every day? Why should I torture the body with only one meal a day? I have already understood the power of self discipline. He revealed that knowledge into his mind. That is what is going to happen to you. Your knowledge will be revealed. From there, he got an idea and understanding of the middle path. Don't overstretch the body so that you feel too much of pain. Don't remain lethargic. Avoid doing any physical activities. You have to just find out the middle. You have not to torture your body by taking one meal a day, but you have to balance. When you are hungry, eat it. Eat in moderation, eat in balanced way. He revealed that knowledge. And what happens, my friend, that is the beauty of Eastern wisdom enters into some kind of mysticism, but it is not mysticism. It is the fact. So once that knowledge was revealed and he was absorbed into meditation, now the existence takes the examination. We don't feel it. So once you follow this discipline, you understand, oh, now the existence is taking an examination. How come the examination? Somebody called you, you are crazy, and And now this is the part of examination. You maintain your calmness and peace. Thank you. I'm more crazy than you think. Go ahead. I will try to change myself. This is what master says, that the existence takes you examination. It puts you into those situations. It puts you into those relationships. Why I'm saying so? So he was sitting, five friends, his five friends were doing all those practices. There were six disciples of that master. So I'm just explaining how these steps uh, uh, are so simple and yet very powerful. Now, see, he has already contemplated, his knowledge was revealed. Now he is out of his mind, his intellect has understood it. So when I understand it, so I have rejected one day a meal, I have rejected extreme austerity and penance, extreme torture to the body. He has already rejected in his mind. He's changed now. Now then what happened? Or it was a full moon day. There is an Indian tradition in full moon day that you make a rice dessert with the sweet, with the milk and the cream, and then you serve to the monks in order to get a boon and your desires are fulfilled. This is the prayer and a custom and a ritual for the family. So beautiful girl had cooked the dessert, and then he approached the first student. Please take it, accept it. I will highly appreciate. First student did not accept because he was scared of his master. When you are scared of the master, when you don't examine, when you don't assimilate this knowledge, second, refused, third, refused, all the five refused. Then the last resort was Siddhartha. The Buddha was sitting under a tree. What is this? Oh, desert. Okay, give me. He ate that desert. Master was looking at him. Master said he will be thrown out of the monastery. You throw it. Knowledge is already revealed. But existence shows you the path. At the same time, Alar Kalam was the name of the master uh, who was crossing that monastery. He met the master and he saw the Siddhartha. He's so calm, he's so relaxed, fearless. So Alar Kalam told the master, why don't you give this crazy student to me? He doesn't follow your routine. Alar Kalam was enlightened master. So he could see that he has become a great seeker, the highest level of a seeker. He needs only one session. And the master said, yes, he seems to be crazy. He has broken the discipline. I took him and he now sit under a tree. So don't think, don't create a card that if you sit under a tree, you will be absorbed into meditation. There was nothing. So he just asked that go and sit under a tree. I'll teach you mindfulness. So we create a kind of false idea that if I continue to sit under a tree, go and sit under a tree with a black cobra. Let me see. So we don't should not create a ritual of like this. That was the only available place. We did not have the big and wonderful studios like America here in those days. So he sat, only one session was required, and he got awakened. Awakened means permanent peace and happiness. He experienced delusion is gone, conditional love. The what should now that revelation inspires you. So he was living for 6 years with the five of his friends. He rushed to those five students. He said, come, follow me. I will teach you. They followed. All those five students become great masters under the Buddhist order. And there he taught, revelation makes you aware. Knowledge reveals in you. he taught all these 5 students. They became great masters. Then he said, I have one more duty to fulfill. Because now what happens, you have reached to that power of compassion, and the power of knowledge is so deep embedded in you. You have such an unflinching conviction because the delusion is gone and conditional love is gone. So he thought, let me help and support my dad and my wife and my son. So he went to the kingdom. So the military informed his father that Siddhartha is coming. So they were waiting at the door. Dad said, okay, I know you, I heard about you that you were sleeping on the floor and you fall ill. There was a time you was reduced to skeleton because you were taking one meal. I am ready to accept you. One condition. Where is that condition? You take over the kingdom now. When you reach to that state of awakening, people will treat you similarly, as if they believe that you are the same guy who was immersed in pleasure. The wife also said to the Siddhartha, honey, yes, American way. Honey, I will accept you. Yes, you have suffered a lot, but I'm ready to accept you. Buddha smiled. Now Siddhartha has become the Buddha smiled. Buddha said, I have not come here to accept this kingdom. Then why you have come? Buddha said, follow me. I will guide you the path of the permanent peace and happiness. That is why I have come to you to request you. Do you see the change? You have such a conviction in you that nothing, no relationship outside can ever disturb you. This is the conviction. They did not follow the Buddha. Father said, you are still crazy, you are still my son, and you think that you have become more intelligent than me. Get lost. And so the wife also left him. Buddha had no problem. Buddha realized that they are still bound by the conditional love and the delusion. They are not understanding, so better to leave them. So that is what I do when I teach someone, when I realize I've been doing so long for you and there is no change. You have to change yourself. There is no change. So, do you understand that part? Did you change? Did you follow the discipline? So some people leave, some people continue. This young guy says, okay, I'm sorry, I will continue. so, so, so what I have to do? I have to do nothing. So his father said, look at this crazy guy. He lived on mosquito bites. He was sleeping on the floor and he says that he found permanent happiness. He is not ready to enter into the kingdom where all the facilities, all kinds of pleasure are available. He is crazy. From the perspective of the Buddha, his wife, his son, and his father is crazy. Do you see that? So that is why sometimes we say it is a mystical, it is something mystical discipline. There is a something mystical hidden. No, there is nothing mystical. We can put it into the form of logic, reasoning, cause and effect. A thought belongs to the conditional love and the delusion, I simply drop it by living into that awareness. Finished. I'm happy. But the father of the Siddhartha says, no, you are crazy. I have lot of money. You will get the bed, which is full of rose flowers in those days, in India, when you have a bed, so they used to, so that you get a very good smell and the fragrance. Huh? They used to put lot of stuff which you have already put in your house. Some. So you see that in full of delusion and conditional love, that his father was saying that, oh, look at this guy, my son, he wanted to teach me. He doesn't know. I ruled this kingdom for so many years, and he's challenging me. The guy in ignorance will never accept the inner discipline. They will come and attend a session or so, but they will say, my life into the pleasure is better. So you have to contemplate and reflect on this. And once you contemplate and reflect on this, you'll have a new level of awareness. Then it needs few weeks of discipline, and we reach into that state. Uh, do, you, do you have questions?
Tantra to say in the morning. It's I have it written somewhere. So
Yeah.
we use asatoma.
Yeah,
What is
you
it
can
called?
use asatoma, yes, that is also good. But the next week I will give you many options.
Oh,
We will
okay.
follow typically. But yes, this week you should do it. Asatoma is good.
So how does it continue? Asatoma,
Asatoma Satgamaya,
asatoma,
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya,
asatoma. What is the third word? Third,
Mrityorma Amritangamaya, moving from mortality to immortality.
yeah, asatoma, and what then? I didn't understand it yet.
Tamasoma, moving from ignorance to wisdom.
Yeah.
Moving from mortality to immortality is the third.
Okay.
And after that, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You simply, your eyes are closed and you're doing Om Shanti. Okay.
Okay.
Mentally, you're saying Om Shanti and you're looking into the entire world, known world. Oh, then there is an unknown world, second Shanti. Third Shanti is you look deep inside your heart. So again, you just do it for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 20 or 25 or 50 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Whether it's loudly or mentally, both are okay.
Okay.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then you listen and learn. Just either if you have more time, listen completely. If you have less time, okay, no issue. You just, and after listening, you have to contemplate, focus on any principle or couple of principles. Contemplate, ask yourself. And so when you are contemplating, the time comes, your mind will reflect. Oh, yesterday I was in anxiety, I should have done this. That is reflect. I should have done this. It is so easy. I didn't do it. Okay, I will remember that. So that is done. And after contemplation, reflection, pick up any practice, you do it, practice and experience the change, PE. And then you have to apply that wisdom by thought, speech, and action during the day. During the day. Then the whole day you have applied that wisdom. Okay, okay, I have applied it. But then we have to do the daily analysis. How come to do the day? Oh, how many times I was in anxiety, pressure, etc., etc., etc. And why? How come? What was the point of delusion here? How to remove that? You will get your thoughts on its own.
Okay.
You need not to worry. You will get the solution. Oh, this is such an easy way. And then you had such a sound sleep. Sound sleep. Done.
Okay.
So